Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Yeah, there'll be no countdown today, obviously, because I'm so late. All right, hello. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight, on the internet. And if you're just coming in to the show, it's because the show just started, and I had a little trouble this morning. So now I'm here. I'm not doing, obviously, I just booted the countdown. We're just going to do it live. I didn't even get to go through articles and stuff. I just got home so late today. This is it. So, this is how it's going to work. Yeah, I'm just super early for tomorrow's show. That good point, Avocados Diabli, because you are so astute. But anyway, let's get this thing going, okay? First, let's say hi to everybody. And wait, is this not even showing up on the screen? What is the hell? Are you getting a circle of death? Oh, okay, there it goes. I was like, why is my monitor showing me not on? That would be awful. We are on, right? Good God. Wait, welcome to chat. Remember to guard your privacy by what? I am on the right stream, right? Am I here? What the hell's going on here? Now it says I don't have a connection. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's working. It's just my screen. Okay, all right. I just had to make sure that the show is going. Or did it die? I'm getting the circle of death. Can you guys hear me? Award for skiing, obvious guest, apparel. Okay, everything's good. You guys okay, yours is fine. I just, for some reason, my monitor is not showing that I'm on. So, okay, we're good. Let's get the show started. Let's say hi first. First the chat today is Mr. Avocados Diabli, who gets the bell. Also, good morning to Kara Soldier, Zed the Snarky, Mike Savage, Blarg, Trippy Liberty. What's up, my brother? Good morning to Furry Kitten. Nice to have you here. It's been a while. Green Badger Outdoors, Attack Alpaca. JB's in the house. Cannibalistic Wizard. Also, good morning, Aaron Meredith. Excuse me, I almost said Annalyn. Who else? Andrew Thorsten, what's up? Good morning to, that's everybody, I think. Okay, close. We're good. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why on my monitor, it's still showing me getting the circle of death. So apparently it's working for you guys. That's good. Let me just check something. That is really strange. Video and audio 5x5. Whatever you do, do not push any buttons. Well, I'm not going to push any buttons. It seems to be working. Okay, I guess it's working. I just, for some reason, on my screen, it's not. That's weird. Okay, but you can see me. Everything's fine. Let's get the damn show started. I don't have... Oh, yeah, and hit the like button, share the stream. Johnny is telling me where to do the tips, but one of them is wrong. Let me put the right one. I'll pin the right one if you want to sponsor the show. Because you are what make the Morning Night Live survive this hellhole. So, I don't have trending topics today. I mean, I do. Apparently Karl Rove's trending. Linda Ronstadt. Why is Linda Ronstadt? Let's find out why Linda. Well, here, I'm going to show you my process of with the trending topics. Because I'm looking here on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, and it has a bunch of things trending here, right? I'm scrolling there. Karl Rove's trending. Why is Karl Rove trending? Did he say something that upset the weirdos, or did he? Let's see. Oh, did Karl Rove? Oh, could it be my internet that's messed up? I don't know. I'm getting this anyway. Karl Rove doing this on Fox 2012. Obama really set these people's brain on fire. So what did Karl Rove say that's got people going? Karl Rove pulls no punches. Trump enthusiasts will be upset that the ABC interviewers fact-checked the former president far more than they did Ms. Harris. Then again, he gave them plenty of material to work with, such as repeating the bizarre claim that Haitian migrants in Springfield, Ohio are eating pets of local residents. That was probably Team Trump's lowest moment. Will this debate have an effect? Yes, though perhaps not as much as Team Harris hopes or as much as Team Trump might fear, but there's no putting lipstick on this pig. Mr. Trump was crushed by a woman he previously dismissed as dumb as a rock, which raises the question, what does that make him? Oh, so he said it's a catastrophic debate for Trump. Okay. It's fascinating. Let's see. Someone here says, folks, I beg of you. Someone says people are worried about the economy. Probe further. What people? What are they worried about? Push back. Our economy is leading the world's biggest country in growth. We're setting creation records, stock market records. Prices are way down on what? Who is this dipshit? This guy must not go to the store ever. I go to the store a lot. Prices are not way down. Now, gas is down. Seasonal gas prices obviously have come down because that's what happens every freaking September after Labor Day, after the summer travel season's over. What are these people talking about? So anyway, Karl Rove's trending because he said something bad about Trump, and that's par for the course. Linda Ronstadt's trending. Why? Did she endorse Kamala Harris, or what did she do? Linda Ronstadt. I don't know. I have no idea. What? Here's what illegal immigrants that Linda Ronstadt worry about have done. Okay, 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray was murdered by two illegal aliens who were led into the country by Kamala Harris. This week, her mother testified to Congress, blaming Kamala for Jocelyn's death. The New York Times blacked it out and refused to cover the hearing. Oh, that's something Donald Trump said. Or Donald Trump Jr. Okay, here we go. First Taylor Swift, then Melissa Etheridge, now Linda Ronstadt. Well, not Linda Ronstadt. Apparently has endorsed Kamala Harris. Now let's see. Did she? Oh, she had a fit because Trump is coming to Arizona. If you remember Linda Ronstadt, she was a big singer in the 70s, kind of early 80s, but mostly 70s. Had a slight country edge to her tone, but was sang pop songs and usually covered other people's songs. Was her big thing. She covered a lot of Buddy Holly songs, etc. So let's see. Linda Ronstadt. Statement from Linda Ronstadt, September 11th, 2024, from San Francisco. Donald Trump is holding a rally on Thursday in a rented hall in my hometown of Tucson. I would prefer to ignore that sad fact. Oh my God, a presidential candidate's holding a rally. And that's a sad fact to Linda Ronstadt. But since the building has my name on it, oh, I get it. I need to say something. It saddens me to see the former president bring his hate show to Tucson, a town with deep Mexican-American roots and a joyful, tolerant spirit. Now, oh, I get it. This is a Trump hates Mexicans letter. I don't just deplore his toxic politics, his hatred of women. Yes, of course he hates women. And people of color. Oh, he hates people of color too. He hates black people. I get it. I feel hated by Donald Trump. His criminality, the lawfare, the dishonesty and ignorance, although there's that. For me, it comes down to this. In Nogales and across the southern border, the Trump administration systematically ripped apart migrant families seeking asylum. Oh my God. Linda, do you know where the 330,000 missing trafficked children are that the Biden administration has let through? I'm so tired of this bullshit. These separated families. Yes, when parents go to jail, it tends to separate your family. And also, they had no idea whether or not those kids belong to those families. They never did really figure that out because there's no documentation for it. But whatever, let me continue this. Family separation made orphans of thousands of little children and babies. citation needed, and brutalized their desperate mothers and fathers. Did it? Brutalize them? How so? Like were they beaten up? Were they strung up by their fingernails? Were their hair pulled out one at a time? Were they forced to listen to old Linda Ronstadt albums? What was the brutalization? It remains a humanitarian catastrophe that Physicians for Human Rights said met the criteria for torture. Okay, how about the missing 330,000 kids from the Biden since the Biden administration? There is no forgiving or forgetting that heartbreak he caused. Trump first ran for president warning about rapists coming in from Mexico. I'm worrying about keeping the rapist out of the White House. Aw, Linda Ronstadt. P.S. to J.D. Vance. I raised 2 adopted children in Tucson as a single mom. They are both grown and living in their own houses. I live with a cat. I am half a childless cat lady because I'm unmarried and didn't give birth to my kids, ? Call me what you want, but this cat lady will be voting proudly in November for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Well, good for you, Linda. Oh my gosh, you are such a wonderful human being. You are extra special. Good Lord. So she threw a little fit there. That's humorous. So a lot of people are making fun of her. A lot of people are agreeing with her. Some are calling a washed-up, voiceless woman. Who even cares what a celebrity thinks? You know, it's funny. Isn't it weird how the Democrats are the party of millionaire celebrities? They're really in touch with the working person. I'm telling you. So that's why Linda Ronstadt's trending. I'll tell you what. I'm going to leave an actual link of that today in the tabs. And maybe I'll even. Well, I'm not going to leave the Karl Rove link. I don't care. Let's see what else is happening here on X, and then we're going to get into some articles. By the way, if you haven't noticed, this is kind of we're just going to do it live day because I was so late, and you knew that. You knew I was late. I told you. I told you already. All right. What else is trending here? Stephen Miller. Whatever. Let's see what Stephen Miller says. Let's see what happens. Who says this isn't complicated? Kamala spent the entire night playing to the DC pundit class with bizarre personal barbs, ancient history, and hoaxes. Trump spent the entire night talking about the border invasion, inflation, war, and peace. Trump spoke to America. Kamala spoke to MSNBC. Yeah, all the pundits are just oohing and eyeing over Kamala's performance. But now that you go back and look at it, I think about it. She never really said anything. Oh, by the way, did you hear the fact that her policy portion of her website that she added the day before the debate? Did you hear that the metadata underneath that policy portion, a lot of it was literally cut and paste from the Joe Biden policy page on the Joe Biden for President website? That's kind of hilarious. That was funny. Hi, Jonathan Peterson. What's up? And Lord Stanhope's in the house, and Simon Wilkins. Good morning. Nice to have you here. Do I see, and Mr. Tire Alexander, the Scourge. Good morning, guys. By the way, today's coffee is brought to you by the Drake Bulldogs, my alma mater. I thought I'd make that as noisy as possible. So Stephen Miller's trending why. Someone asked, I asked Stephen Miller, one of Donald Trump's top advisors, what evidence for saying that Caracas and Venezuela are safer than the United States. He began by answering that it is the government's numbers. I asked him if he trusted Maduro's numbers, and this was his. I'm sorry, I have to click it. This was reaction. Let's see what will
happen. All these
day one.
All these criminal migrants that have been flooded in the country.
Okay, my internet's doing terrible. Is the stream going just fine? I don't know what's going on here. I'm just going to skip that. I'm not anything with video is probably not going to happen today. As long as the stream is going fine. No, YouTube's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers experience buffering. Are you guys getting buffering at all? This is really crazy. What is going on? All right, stream is fine. Okay, I'm going to stay with that. It must be my internet. My upload must be fine, but my download must suck because I'm really having trouble with video on my end. So we'll just move on. Let's see. So I don't know what Stephen Miller said. But anyway, let's see. Oh, I guess they're saying Stephen Miller had a full mental meltdown when they asked him that question. I do want to see that. So anyway, I'll put it in the links, and hopefully you'll be able to see it later if you want to. A few other trending things right now, and then we're going to get into some articles. Even CNN is trending. What is this? What is this? What the hell? Oh, now I'm frozen. There we go. Even CNN sees the double standard. Okay, CNN just hammered ABC News for its biased presidential debate moderation. ABC News constantly fact-check Trump and let Kamala off the hook, lying and dodging questions. Even CNN sees the double standard. So apparently Jake Tapper said something about that. But I won't know because I can't play it. Let's see what we get here.
On the border, another vulnerable issue for Harris, she also dodged.
Would you have done anything differently from President Biden on this?
So I'm the only person on this.
Yeah, I can't even do video. This is annoying. Let's see if it pops up. We'll see if it works. Give it a second. I don't know what's happening here. This is very upsetting. Nope, I'm getting ring of death on every video thing I do.
Who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations.
She didn't answer the question, though. She didn't ask if she'd do anything different from President Biden on the border. So, anyway, that's the point. Apparently, CNN... CNN's official fact checker says Kamala lied 17 times in the first 10 minutes. It would be easier to count truth. So CNN even said that... even CNN can't believe Kamala Harris wants to use American tax dollars to cover the cost of gender reassignment surgery for illegal migrants, which she has. I mean, basically, they probably do. I don't know. Laura Loomer. People were bitching about Laura Loomer yesterday. Why is Don Lemon trending? Let's find out. Don Lemon mocked Melania for being stressed and hurt by the attempt on her husband's life. He's since deleted the video. Don Lemon is trash. Oh, he took a shot at Melania for for being upset about her husband being attacked. Can I get a 22-second video from Don Lemon? Let's find out. He mocked her for that? Let's see.
The attempt to end my husband's life was...
Okay, this is not going to work today. So let's in the immortal words of Elvis Presley, fuck it. Okay, we're not going to do it. We're just going to skip these trending topics because most of them have to do with video. Let's see, but I'll leave tabs open. Maybe you can see what the hell he said later. But he mocked Melania Trump for that, and people are giving him shit, which is appropriate because Trump lost. Hashtag rest in... who's rest in peace? Who died? I mean, it could be many people. Let's not forget that Rick Ascoria. That's the guy who got all the people out of the building on 9/11. It's going to be real juicy good Thursday morning, everyone. Even CNN knows they're fake news. Rest in peace, Democratic Party. And can you feel that earthquake? Coming in hot, Don Lemon can suck it. Okay, that's taking care of all of the things. That doesn't help. By the way, yesterday was also the anniversary of the debacle in Benghazi that apparently no one really cared about getting behind the scenes and figuring out what happened because, well, at this point, what difference does it make? So there you go. All right, let's just move on to some articles because obviously I'm having video trouble. It's just that kind of day, people. It's just that kind of day. Now I want to start. I always, I use my favorite aggregator a lot here, JJ Sefton at the Ace of Spades, and he has his own blog too that he posts his morning report on. And I want to go through the intro of that today because did I just freeze? Okay. Yeah, we saw he died. I want to go through this intro because it's very interesting how he introduces the aggregator today. And so we're going to start with this. Good morning, kids. Lest we forget, 9/11 was also the anniversary of the 2012 Benghazi attack that took the lives of 4 Americans, thanks to Obama and Hillary Clinton's gun-running scheme to Syrian terrorists gone south. All blamed on a fictitious Islamophobic video and some Egyptian-American patsy. I suppose the stories I'm going to highlight fall into the categories of chicken and egg, but they do for sure illustrate how completely warped and twisted the leftist mindset is. And from there, it's a very short walk. Indeed, to extrapolate where they intend to take anyone who resists them, hint, a mass grave or gas chamber, assuming a future Dem junta grants a waiver for the drilling of gas and manufacture of bullets strictly for this purpose, and what they intend to teach future generations. Indeed, what's being taught in far too many schools as we speak, look no further than the campus of Columbia University, but I digress. The first item is from Tuesday night's pornographic donkey act of alleged presidential debate. Literally, on the eve of the anniversary of 9/11 terrorist attack, Kamala Harris said these words. On the evening before the anniversary of 9/11 terrorist attack, during which almost 3,000 Americans were killed, Democrat Vice President Kamala Harris made the utterly preposterous claim during the presidential debate that January 6th was the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. There are a whole host of problems with Harris's statement, including the fact that America is a republic, not a democracy, that, as Donald Trump noted, the only people killed on January 6th were Trump supporters murdered by Capitol Police, and most January 6th protesters were peaceful, although they have since been abused in jail and denied basic rights by the Biden-Harris administration. But since today is the anniversary, this is yesterday, of the infamous 9/11 attacks, it is particularly insensitive that Harris made her ridiculous claim on September 10th. Democrats started the Civil War upon the election of Republican President Abraham Lincoln because they refused to accept the results of an election that went against them, which Democrats always do when they lose, and they were afraid Lincoln would live up to his word of restricting slavery spread. The Civil War was the deadliest war in American history, and with at least 620,000 casualties, we can lay it at the door of racist, anti-freedom Democratic Party. Fast forward to today, when a race-baiting, anti-freedom Democratic candidate totally ignored the tragedy of 9/11 to claim that a protest where no one but the protesters were killed was a major assault on democracy. Quote, Donald Trump left us the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. End quote. Kamala lied. It was such an outrageous claim that my 16-year-old sister spontaneously observed to me, Kamala said that just before the anniversary of 9/11? Independent journalist Ethan Miles Chong had the same reaction. So anyway, until my dying day, what happened on January 6, 2021 was a false flag op orchestrated by Pelosi and deep state intel and law enforcement agencies and operatives, where 2 innocent women were murdered by Pelosi's goons, and in the Capitol Police Department, and others yet identified, Ashley Babbitt gunned down by Michael Byrd and Roseanne Boylan beaten to death, which they, it's funny, no one talks about Roseanne Boylan being beaten to death, which she was. They claimed that she had a heart attack. No, she was beat to death, and there's video of it. And hundreds of others arrested, tossed into jail, many still rotting there, all because they exercised their First Amendment right of free speech. And of course, Trump railroaded on multiple kangaroo court charges, and most recently surviving a likely deep state-initiated assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania, which was not even mentioned at these so-called debates. It's just a debate. But that's Kamala Harris and the mindset of everyone like her. Remember, in her and her compatriots' twisted reptilian minds, America is evil and illegitimate. And on that terrible day of 9/11, Jeremiah Wright, Obama's Pazuzu worshiping priest, declared it was America's chickens coming home to roost. And speaking of foul on foul, as horrendous as all of the aforementioned words are, I give you something even more revolting, yet it reveals how we get people like Harris and Obama in power in the first place. A father of a, now this is annoying, and I have the article here. In fact, let's just go to this article. I'm gonna skip the rest of this. This is kind of wild. So in Springfield, Ohio, there's a young boy was killed by one of the Haitian migrants, right? And this father got up in front of some meeting saying that he wishes his son was killed by a 60-year-old white man. I guess he's making a political statement. The father of an 11-year-old boy who was killed by a Haitian immigrant in Springfield, Ohio, said during a city commission meeting on Tuesday that he wishes his son was instead killed by an old white man. Aiden Clark was killed in August 2023 when a Haitian immigrant, Hermano Joseph, 36, crossed over the center dividing line and crashed into a full school bus. The 11-year-old was ejected from the bus, which flipped over. So how do you flip over a school bus? What was he driving? And then the bus landed on, oh my God. More than 20 children were taken to the hospital. Joseph is now facing 9 years behind bars after being convicted of involuntary manslaughter. He was not licensed to drive in Ohio. And we saw that guy talking about how bad the Haitian drivers are. I wish, this is the father. I wish my son Aiden Clark was killed by a 60-year-old white man, the boy's father, Nathan Clark, said. I bet you never thought anyone would ever say something so blunt, but if that guy killed my 11-year-old son, the incessant group of hate-spewing people would leave us alone. Well, I gotta imagine that most of these hate-spewing people probably are concerned about your family and are. I don't even know what to say. Quote, he's back to the. They make it seem as though our wonderful Aiden appreciates your hate, that we should follow their hate, Clark, who's a teacher, said, and look what you've done to us. Speaking of morally bankrupt politicians, Bernie Moreno, Chip Roy, J.D. Vance, and Donald Trump, they have spoken my son's name and used his death for political gain, the father continued. Is that what they're doing? Or are they just telling us that maybe we're doing something wrong? They can vomit all their hate they want about illegal immigrants, the border crisis, and even untrue claims about fluffy pets being ravaged and eaten by community members, he said, but they are not allowed to mention Aiden Clark. My son Aiden Clark was not murdered. He was accidentally killed by an immigrant from Haiti, the father added. In order to live like Aiden, you need to accept everyone. Oh my God. I wish I don't want to, this is not even about something politically. This is about how do we run a country? Hello, Annalyn, what's up? Hi, Darren Root. This is so weird to me. How much hate do you have to have in your heart that a politician mentioning your deceased child's name makes you say something like this? That people showing concern about the causes of so many deaths in America. Look, we have, it's funny. They always say, oh, well, Americans commit more crimes than immigrants. Well, then great. Then maybe we shouldn't be importing more crime and or destruction. Maybe we should have some form of orderly way to allow people to immigrate to this country. Oh, wait, we have immigration laws? Oh, I forgot. It's hard to tell anymore. Springfield has garnered nationwide attention in recent weeks following viral complaints from residents about a massive influx of Haitian migrants to the relatively small community. Yeah, 20,000 in a town of 60,000, 130,000 metro, but 20,000 in a town, a metropolitan or whatever of 130,000. That's a huge influx of people, and I bet you that the city is paying for a lot of it. I'll bet you they are. Hello, number one. Let's see. Here. Let's watch. I want to hear him say it. I want to hear his tone. I'm sure he's just. I mean, is he in? I don't know. He's enraged. I'm sure.
Our best interest to be here after recent comments. You know.
Oh, I forgot. I can't play video today. Let's skip it. I'm having trouble with video. I have to figure out what's going on with my computer here. Might have some internet problems. Well, no, because my upload's fine. Good morning, Selected Boy. How you doing?
Yeah, boy.
All right, so moving on. In Breitbart, by the way, Black Chicagoans are talking replacement theory. Oh my God, I thought replacement theory was racist. Black Chicagoans are warning Democrats that migrants are replacing African Americans. Jonathan Jackson, a Democrat from Illinois, son of civil rights activists. Oh, goodness. I forgot about that. Hang on a second. Let me fix that nonsense. Good Lord. What the hell? That should sound differently. By the way, thank you, Tyre Alexander. Sagius Tyre, he says. Tyre Alexander dropping a deuce in the tip jar, and you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, Tyre Alexander. Appreciate you. Let me give you a proper alert, though, for that. See, I was so late today, I didn't even change my alert box, so we'll fix that, too. Tyre says, this man is a fucking cultist. He has even swallowed the entire punch bowl of the Kool-Aid. Your son was fucking murdered by a motherfucker that should have never been here. This isn't his home. All of them need to go back where the fuck they came from now, before you tell Tyre a racist, remember, Tyre is a black man, and none of us black people can be racist. So it was not racist for him to say that. And here we'll give you a proper alert. Give me a moment for that douche you dropped in the chip jar. And maybe, what the hell's going on here? Why isn't that working? Well, it will in a second. All right. Thank you, Tyre, very much. There we go. You are this new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. To be the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day, use the Streamlabs link at the top of the chat to donate to the show. The highest donor of the day is the Superstar sponsor of the day. Moving on. Apparently, why is that there? Okay, I got you. Back to this article, though. Representative Jonathan Jackson, who's the son of civil rights activist Jesse Jackson, got an earful at a recent town hall event as black residents of his district blasted him for his support of the tens of thousands of illegal migrants flooding into the Windy City. And, of course, they're putting them all on the south side in the black neighborhoods. During the town hall, the Illinois 1st District representative was confronted by a resident on the migrant issue, and Jackson made a vain attempt to turn the tables on the man by saying, "Can you help me with the solutions you'd like to see me do?" Yeah, close the fucking border and stop busing him to Chicago. That's probably what he said. The resident in the audience did not hesitate for a minute. He's, quote, "Surely I can help with the solution. I can give you a simple answer. Send their asses back." He didn't say their asses, but I'm embellishing. "That's the only solution," the man said to a blank-faced Jackson as the crowd applauded. So the brothers and sisters in the south side of Chicago are telling these motherfuckers, you got to get your shit together and get these motherfuckers out of here. Sorry, that was me code switching. I'm not very good at it. but the incensed resident was not finished by a long shot. That's it. Other than that, they will surpass us, he continued passionately. That is math. It's simple math. They will overtake us in numbers at the rate that they have kids. They cannot be U.S. citizens, the resident added. You are dooming our next generation to subservitude. I'm telling you, it's just simple math. Congressman Jackson tried to diffuse the resident's obvious points by adding, let me share something with you. Most of the persons that are here right now under technical definition do not qualify for asylum. With that, I'm just trying to talk like his dad. With that, the congressman had tried to claim that many of the illegals here won't become United States citizens that won't be voting in our elections, but the resident was not put off his point at all. I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned about the children they have, the man explained. They will be U.S. citizens and they will have a voting bloc. The man correctly pointed out that Hispanics are already outvoting blacks in Chicago. Although all we have to do now is look at the Hispanic voting bloc they have now, he said. They get everything they want. Look at our communities. You see the schools they have as compared to the schools we have. Black Americans in Chicago have begun to organize at the grassroots level and in opposition to their elected officials over the tidal wave of migrants that has swamped the city, especially since most of the city's taxpayer-funded migrant shelters have been placed in black neighborhoods. I'm telling you, look out in Chicago, Brooklyn, wherever they send them. I'm guarantee you in Denver, a lot of brothers and sisters live in the Aurora area. I'm telling you, This is pissing off a very large constituency of the Democratic Party, the immigration stuff. By the way, there are police reports that police calls suggest Haitians are indeed killing geese in Ohio. So here we go. A recording of a police call of Ohio. What the hell? Stop. What is going on there? The recording of a police call out of Ohio seems to confirm residents' claims that Haitian migrants are indeed killing and presumably eating wild geese from local ponds, contrary to claims of fake news by national leftist news outlets and so-called fact checkers. The Federalist reports they've obtained a recording of a call made by concerned local residents to the cops in Springfield, Ohio, the same town where another resident recently told town officials that Haitian migrants were killing waterfowl on local ponds. I'm sitting here, I'm riding on the trail, I'm going to my orientation for my job today, and I see a group of Haitian people. There was about 4 of them. They all had geese in their hands. The caller could be heard telling the dispatcher in the audio recording of the call, according to the Federalist. And the outlet did their homework. The Federalist also reports that not only did they verify the location of the caller he said he was at when he saw the people carrying the geese, but that they also obtained police records that show the call was placed on August 26th, well before the video of the man speaking to town officials went viral. The caller was even able to describe the vehicle he says the people used to carry off the geese, as well as part of the license plate numbers. The man on the call told police that each of the alleged Haitian migrants had a goose in their hand. The town of Springfield, let me stop for a second. We saw the video of the young man who is testifying before the city officials, right? About him running into garbage can, being terrible drivers and whatnot. And they killed a kid that apparently the father wished that he was killed by a 50-year-old man or 60-year-old man. But about this geese thing, at least where I live in Minnesota, as you know, and we have lots of lakes and water, whatever. And Canadian geese are fucking everywhere. And I almost wish that they would have a program, cause we have a program in Minnesota where you can, in some of the city and state parks, for example, they'll close the park once a year so people can basically clean out the deer, because there's a lot of deer in the park, and they allow bow hunting for a weekend. In my town, we have one of these county parks, about 100-acre county park. And they have a deer hunt there every year, bow hunting, just because there's so many deer, and there's too many deer. Okay, and it's you got to thin out the herds to make sure they're healthy. I wish they would do that with geese here. I wish we would get a bunch of Haitians here to get some of the geese, because they're like fucking rats. They poop everywhere and they're gross. I would be happy to import a few Haitians, at least temporarily. We could have a temporary Haitian relocation program where they could hunt the geese and get them out of the parks and then go on their merry way. Anyway, look, and there was also another call. We saw it the other day. The police called, not the one the woman eating the cat, but the one where they said that the kid was missing their cat, and then they saw it strung up in a tree across the street, like they were hanging. Now, the other part too, I saw a video of a young woman whose father immigrated from Haiti, and her mom was since divorced, but she grew up in the United States. She's an American citizen, but she's also talking about how, because of the terrible situation in Haiti, a lot of people who are from there are used to going out and just getting whatever animal they could find to kill and cook. And so that could be part of the reason that some of these Haitian migrants are killing pets. And also because one of the major religions in Haiti is a type of voodoo. So a lot of times they do animal sacrifices in their culture. And, when they come here, they might want to let these people know. Well, of course they don't come here. Most of them come here legally or on that stupid program that the Biden administration has. Maybe they should tell that, killing animals for animal sacrifices, we don't do that shit here. And maybe you want to save that shit for when we send your asses back home. I don't know. But anyway. All right. I got to kind of get through these articles. We already read the one on Kamala Harris talking about J6 being the worst attack since the Civil War. At least we saw it in the other thing. And there's the full article if you want to read it. That was disgusting. That was perfectly disgusting. Also, apparently stocks plunged after the presidential debate and higher core inflation. I'm pretty sure the higher core inflation might have had a bigger impact. But Breitbart kind of juxtaposed that to the debate. Investors on Wednesday appeared to reassess the risk that Kamala Harris could win the presidential contest, sending major stock indexes plunging on the morning after the debate between Harris and Trump. Now, again, I think the CPI probably had an effect that it was higher than they were expected. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell by more than 550 points. Okay, that's 1.4%. That's not a huge drop. In 1990, a 550-point drop would have been devastating. Not so much now, but still, it's significant, but not catastrophic. But anyway, Harris said she would seek to hike. Well, you can read this article on your own. I'm going to skip that one. Daily Wire, Kamala lied about gun confiscation during the debate. Muir knew it. And David Muir knew she lied and said nothing. In a rebuttal to former President Donald Trump, who had accurately stated that Harris's voiced support for gun confiscation via mandatory gun buyback programs, the vice president claimed she was a gun owner and declared that she had no intention of taking anyone's guns. I know that she said it. Do they have the video? She literally was talking about gun confiscation, a mandatory buyback program not too long ago. She's destroying our country, blah, blah, blah. She had previously alluded to her personal firearm during her ill-fated presidential campaign in 2019, saying, "I'm a gun owner and I own a gun for probably the reason a lot of people do, for personal safety. I was a career prosecutor." But Harris did say that she favored a mandatory gun buybacks, a position challenged during one of the 2019 primary debates by then candidate Joe Biden and moderator David Muir, who was the same moderator. During that debate, Biden argued that gun buybacks could not be enacted via executive order. Muir pressed Harris for a response, asking, "Does the vice president have a point there?" She said her answer at that time, I would say, "Hey, Joe, instead of saying, 'No, we can't,' let's say, 'Yes, we can,'" she said, tossing her hair, laughing. "Let's be constitutional," Biden shot back. "We got a constitution." "Yes, we can," Harris insisted, still laughing. So yeah, remember that from that debate when she said that? Yeah, she said she could do that by executive order even. Wow, that's okay. Moving on. And here's also an article. Yes, Democrats support ending the lives of babies who survive abortions. Because people keep saying, "Oh no, there's no post-birth abortions going to be done? Well, we talked about that yesterday. They're making the point that I made yesterday that, one, Governor Northam basically said that. And number two, in Minnesota, Governor Walz just signed a law removing the reporting requirements of babies who are born alive during the process of an abortion. So during the process of abortion, there have been instances where the baby is alive and they just let it die. And the reason he repealed the reporting requirements is because he didn't want any record of it. What you don't know can't be used against you politically. So, but this is a whole article on that same thing that I talked about yesterday. PJ Media, and again, ABC moderators were lying. 8 aborted babies were born alive and then left to die in Minnesota. So yeah, it's there. Look, and that's where I go. You got to have. I think it should be legal, but it needs to be much more restrictive than it is. In Minnesota, basically passed a law that it's, there are no restrictions. LA Times columnist blames Republicans for Democrat-dominated California's failures. This is good. There are signs that November is turning into a blowout election for the Republicans and a blow-up elections for Democrats. Is there, though? I don't know. One sign is a hot take by Steve Lopez, a columnist for the Los Angeles Times. He had the audacity to blame the Republican Party for California's issues with drug abuse, crime, homelessness, poverty, and other issues. Now, remember, California has been a supermajority Democrat state for many years, both houses of the legislature, the governor, and really their court system is a bunch of left-wing nut jobs, right? Now, while Lopez did note his state is run almost entirely by Democrats, he reasoned that the milquetoast Republicans in the state were too far right to get elected. Ergo, the epic failures are entirely the fault of the GOP. So here's the logic. Here it is. So maybe you're reading this and saying, okay, but Reagan and Nixon and economic shifts are old stories. California Democrats have been in the driver's seat for years, and they're soft on crime and the border and full of empty promises and way too woke. Fine. But if that's your perspective, whose fault is it that in California Democrats are in charge? I have the answer for you. It's Republicans. In a state that proudly celebrates inclusion and leads the resistance to the politics of race-based scapegoating, climate change denial, and the stripping of women's reproductive rights, the out-of-touch GOP has been hell-bent on shrinking its tent. Reagan, who signed the abortion rights bill as a governor and an immigrant amnesty bill as a president, would be booted out of today's GOP. Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, a moderate Republican, left Sacramento in 2011, and no GOP candidate has won statewide office since then. None of them has offered winning solutions to deep-seated problems. It might be too late for a party resurgent because as the electorate has grown more diverse, GOP voter registration has dwindled to roughly 25%. You can't blame Democrats for that. So the Democrat Party ideas have caused great failure in California. And because people keep voting for Democrats and failure, it is the Republicans' fault. In the immortal words of, what's that guy? Dusty Smith. Remember who Dusty Smith? Maybe you don't, but logic. Holy Fook has a wonderful colorful Vietnamese restaurant in South Los Angeles. The Harris-Walz co-chair said that ABC interrupted Trump more because they didn't fact-check more normal falsehoods. On Wednesday's broadcast on the Fox News Channel, Your World, Harris-Walz campaign co-chair conceded that ABC debate moderators David Muir and Lindsey Davis didn't correct statements from the 2024 Democratic presidential candidate, Vice President Kamala Harris, as much as they did statements 2024 Republican President Donald Trump because, quote, he was saying things that were not just misrepresentation of fact, but whoppers, and fact-checking things that are more normal, more standard is for the day after the debate. Oh, so her blatant lying was just more normal incorrect statements, whereas because Donald Trump's were supposedly whoppers, those things got fact-checked. Oh, really? And really? Because some of the fact-checks were wrong, which is hilarious. Okay, whatever. Move on. This is crazy. Oh, by the way, it's funny. So this was supposed to be such a disastrous debate for Donald Trump, right? Right? I'm doing my Cenk Uygur imitation. Apparently, the focus group of undecided voters, after the debate, leaned Trump 2-1 afterwards. That's interesting. Although pundits declared Vice President Kamala Harris the clear winner of Tuesday night's debate, former President Donald Trump won 6 of 10 undecided voters in a Reuters focus group. Harris only won 3. A New York Times study of undecideds had similar results. Wow. The debate, which was widely criticized for bias on its part of the ABC's news moderators, was mostly seen as a draw between Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. These moderates are complete hacks, Michael Knowles posted on X. It's 3-on-1, or moderators, I'm sorry. The moderators are complete hacks. It's 3-on-1, and Trump is still winning. Some political pundits predicted the debate would have little effect on the election. According to a Reuters sampling, however, 6 of 10 undecided voters said they were leaning towards Trump due to Harris's vague answers and because they trusted Trump more on the economy, the top issue of the 2024 cycle. It's interesting. I think you're going to see a lot of that, where if she doesn't start actually saying things other than platitudes and joy, she ain't going to win. I hope people see that. I don't know if the media will allow people to see that, but maybe people are starting to tune out the media. I hope so. But can they tune out Taylor Swift, though? I don't know. I don't know if they can do it. You're going to get all these, the TikTok crowd voting in droves because TikTok, right? But do even the TikTok crowd realize how much it costs more for gas and food? I don't know. Reuters interviewed 10 people who were still unsure about how they were going to vote in the November 5th election before they watched the debate. 6 said afterwards they would now either vote for Trump or were leaning towards backing him. 3 said they would now back Harris, and 1 was still unsure of how he would vote. 5 said they found Harris vague during the more than 90-minute debate on how she would improve the U.S. economy and deal with the high cost of living, a top concern for voters. 4 of those 6 also said Harris did not convince them she would pursue different economic policies than the Democratic President Joe Biden, a Democrat they largely blame for the high cost of living. So, maybe, I don't know, maybe the debate wasn't so bad for Trump. I thought it was a draw. All right. There's a bunch of other articles, but I'm not going to get to them because we have a distraction. AKA, thank you, Gunfox61, for sponsoring the show. You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Dropping a Hamilton in the tip jar and taking us back to a different, hijacking the show with a new article. Thank you, Gunfox. He's dropped this one in here. The U.S. Navy is fighting back the forgotten war in the Gate of Tears. Now, I'm not familiar with this, so here we go. Is this, can I read this whole thing? I can. Okay, we're going to finish with this. 90% of everything is shipped by sea. By the way, before I start this. Good morning, Richard Head. How you doing, brother? Welcome, Dick. And you're a ridiculous moon enthusiast, a.k.a. lunatic. What's up? And anyone else drop in? Anyone else? Okay, I hope I didn't miss it. Lord Stanhope, you were already here, right? Okay, I think we're good. 90% of everything is shipped by sea, whether that's the chair you're sitting on, Interesting. Or the phone you're reading this on, or the fuel that's keeping your lights on. Shipping tends to work in long lead times, which means that right now, a lot of this year's Christmas presents are on voyage. As an island nation and net importer, we British are highly dependent on the uninterrupted global trade of products, energy, and information by sea. Cut that flow off and we perish. This is obviously written, this is in the, what is this? This is an article from the Telegraph. Sorry, I got lost here. Disrupt it and prices go up and delays are incurred. This is what has been happening in the Red Sea since late last year. 66% of ships which would normally travel through it, and over 90% of the more valuable ones are using alternative routes due to the Houthi threat. That'd be in Yemen. Shipping is an amazing ability to self-heal, or has an amazing ability to self-heal in response to situations like this. It is a living organism with multiple stakeholders, including shipping companies, ports, customs, insurers, brokers, banks, and regulatory bodies. It spans global supply chains, navigating maritime laws, international treaties, and environmental regulations. The trade and profits are at its core, and shippers will likely find a way. Initially, markets are shocked and insurance premiums and spot rates spike whilst everyone works out what's going on. But soon enough, the graphs settle down. But, hello, Anon. 1, 2, 3. But while the various trading graphs do settle to a degree where people like us lose interest, they don't settle where they were before. Usually the shippers have to pay more in insurance or fuel or whatever, and it doesn't take long for that tab to end up with us, the consumer. The second important point is that major shipping companies, despite making decent profit out of this situation for now, don't want to go around the Cape of Good Hope to become the new normal. This is why the Suez Canal was built in the first place. It is more efficient for most traffic between Europe and the East to travel via the canal, entering and leaving the Indian Ocean via the Bab el-Mandeb Strait at the southern end of the Red Sea. The Bab el-Mandeb is definitely well named these days. It is the Gate of Tears indeed. Noise emanating from those making a quick buck from the current disruption sometimes masks the obvious strategic point. And for ships going around, the problem caused by this reduction in efficiency are slowly mounting. AP Moller Maersk, the second largest shipping company in the world, said this week, quote, these disruptions have led to service reconfigurations and volume shifts, straining infrastructure and resulting in port congestion, delays, and shortages in capacity and equipment. Maersk also warned of a cascading impact on trade routes between Asia and Europe, which, by the way, these trade routes, even though it says Asia and Europe, it affects the whole world. Someone from MSC, the largest shipper, said the same to me in a private months ago. The longer journey is not only causing congestion issues, it's increasing engine hours, decreasing hull life, and worsening emissions. It is also riskier, especially at this time of year. The Cape of Good Hope was originally known as the Cape of Storms, and is well named. In July, CMA CGM ship the Benjamin Franklin lost 44 containers over the side during a storm. Anyone with a sensible long-term view of all this thinks that shipping needs some point to go back through the Red Sea. The solution, start there. The solution, as it has been all along, for the Houthis to stop shooting, this can only happen one of three ways. They decide to stop, are pressured into stopping, most likely by Iran, or are made to stop. None of these seem particularly likely just now. First, the Houthis are gaining too much influence and notoriety from their campaign to stop of their own accord. This will be far in excess of what they would have expected when they first used Gaza as a reason to start shooting indiscriminately at merchant shipping. Second, the U.S. and others will undoubtedly be leaning on Iran to dissuade them, but the regime there either isn't passing on, or they are and it's not working. And third, the Houthis have learned a great deal from their Iranian backer about weapons mobility, concealment, and mass, and making counterstrikes against them harsher than most imagine. I still think the proper bloody nose I still think a proper bloody nose back in November would have helped, but we are way past that now, and the Houthis' habit of placing their weapons among human shields would mean civilian casualties if the gloves come off for real. You can understand why the U.S. has been backward-leaning, even if you don't agree with it. But the U.S. is also one of the nations whose trade is least affected by the partial closure of the Red Sea. It trades with Asia mostly across the Pacific. In the meantime, it is clear from the statistics that defensive warship operations such as the U.S.-led Operation Prosperity Guardian and EU equivalent Aspides, coupled with the smattering of counterstrikes, are not reassuring shipping. If a holistic diplomatic and economic solution of the sort that defeated piracy off the Horn of Africa in the 2010s is emerging, then I'm not seeing it either. Warships then and now are not the solution. They are an essential part of it, and we all need more from them. But if told to do it on their own, they become high risk, high cost, sticking plaster. The U.S. Navy does at least appear to be re-engaging from a low of 0 ships 10 days ago. This is good news from an operational perspective, but also because as long as they're there, U.S. leadership will be keen to keep working on the rest of the solution. A few days ago, one of the 2 U.S. carriers in the region, the USS Abraham Lincoln, was seen heading for Al-Bab at Mandeb, and there are now 2 destroyers confirmed in the Red Sea, the USS Stockdale and the USS Michael Murphy. Okay, forgetting. Oh wait, that's not Mike. That's Michael. Who's that? Who's the singer of the Doobie Brothers? Anyway, sorry, I should have never even started that. The U.S. warships could, if they chose, provide cover for an operation to salvage the MV Soyunyan, an oil tanker that was attacked 2 weeks ago and has been on fire ever since. The EU-led attempt to resolve this environmental disaster in waiting had to abort, saying the risk of attack was too high. This is an open goal for the U.S. Navy to re-engage in the Red Sea, impose some order, destroy potential attackers, and do it all in the name of the environment. And hopefully they will then stay and reboot Operation Prosperity Guardian. Whilst I've conceded this is not the solution on its own, the U.S. Navy, even not trying to resolve a situation like this, suggests an unwillingness to protect freedom of navigation that leaves mariners and the U.S. Navy watchers deeply uncomfortable. Wait a minute. Mr. Brit, boy, Mr. Brit, where are the British warships taking care of this shit? Are they paying us to do this? Is this a NATO thing? Why? I guess it's our responsibility to protect your trade routes. I'm just curious, but anyway. Yeah, so the Brits want us to clean it up for them. Yeah, pretty much. See, this is where Donald Trump comes in and says, well, you pay and we'll take care of it. You pay us and we'll take care of it. You pay us and we'll take care of it. Meanwhile, Houthi happy hour continues and shipping continues to go the long way round. What does this mean to us in the UK? Well, hopefully you wrote your letter to Father Christmas early this year, as it is about now that the ships are full of all the things you want from him, already heading our way in anticipation of the November and December rush. Shipping moves things many months in advance, and here's a good example of peak demand coinciding with peak disruption. None of this is catastrophic. Shipping retains its organic, near mystic ability to self-heal, but we should never take this giant logistical machine for granted. Millions of tons of cargo move through the world's arteries and unload in the world's ports before ending up under our Christmas trees. And by and large, no one cares until it stops working. If your model warship doesn't arrive in time for this Christmas, it's for many reasons, but one of them is because we don't have enough real ones. Well, that's a classic, it's your responsibility to take care of us, and there you go. So thank you, Gunfox, for that article. That's it, guys. I got to go. Let me do this link thing real quick, and we'll be on our way. If you haven't done so already, I would appreciate it if you would hit the like button, share the stream, and plan on coming back tomorrow. Thank you to our sponsors today, Ty Alexander and Gunfox61. Gunfox61, you are the Streamlabs Superstar sponsored the day. Why isn't this working? Oh man, there is something wrong. I'm gonna have to reboot my computer. That's the problem. Anyway, thanks guys. It may take me a second to get the links up, but I gotta go. My name is Dawg Knight, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.